The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki. Hello, here I am. It's Nikki Glaser Podcast. I'm Nikki Glaser. I'm in St. Louis with Andrew Collin in studio. What's up?
I love this look.
Yeah, you like this look?
Yeah.
Describe it to the people that are listening to audio and for Noah, who maybe can't get a close-up all the way from Arizona.
If you can imagine a Midwest woman in a dark bar at the end.
Oh, yeah?
Drinking, having cigarettes inside the bar.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's kind of a feel I'm seeing.
I really was feeling a lot cooler than that.
No, that's the coolest girl I can imagine.
Really? She sounds sad. She sounds like she needs to get her life together and grow up a little bit.
She's been through a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look like a barfly. A St. Louis barfly is what I...
What's a barfly?
Just a girl, someone that hangs out at the bar a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I just picture you...
I'm wearing a Budweiser shirt, but it's the one I got in Cabo that says Buttweiser.
And the Cardinals hat.
And I'm wearing a Cardinals hat, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I still have bruises on my forehead from Botox. I have to go, and I'm getting a photo shoot for the Post-Dispatch, which is the local newspaper, today, and I'm still swollen from Botox and filler. And the girls at the place yesterday were like, oh, well, and I go, maybe I'll move the photo shoot. And then I was like, I'll just tell them that I'm like, maybe I'll just like underneath the caption, I'll be like, here's Nikki and her parents. And Nikki just had filler at Nyack. And I'll give them a little plug-a-rooney.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing to be ashamed of. I go, why do girls get to dye their hair and be like, I got my hair dyed, but me, I'm like, I got filler and I gotta be...
Yeah, you got your forehead dyed.
No, but...
Your forehead dyed.
It is weird. Like, I'm interested. Chris hasn't seen me for 2 weeks, and my face looks like it's a little bit swollen, but also it looks different because I got fucking filler. That's the point of it. And I'm wondering, like, last time I got it, he was like, what's, I told him, and he goes, so, like, is that, like, the way it's gonna look? Like, there was a little bit of, like, are those lips, like, gonna be that way forever?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was so cute because I was just like, no, they're swollen a little bit right now, but like, he's like, not that it's a bad thing, but like, it's funny because your partner loves you for you, and then when you change things about yourself, your physical appearance, whether it's working out, or like sometimes, not that guys get like some guys get threatened when you like put in effort to your looks because they're like, you trying to get fucked by someone else, but Chris is just like, you can do whatever you want, but like, I love you the way you are, and that's very sweet. But there's a little bit of like, don't change, because I know I get that. I'm like, I would be sad if he like got things in his face to like change his perfect face.
It's like, why am I not enough?
When he gets fit. No, when he gets fit, I'm kind of like, I don't need this, right? Like, I love your body. Like, I would never love you more because your arm had a different bulge in it. Like, it would not, it doesn't affect my love for you. And it makes me understand, so how someone can love me no matter what size I am. Because it's comical to me that I would love him less if he had less hair. That would just never be a thing.
Yeah. I mean, then why?
Because I'm on TV and America might like me more, and I like me more with a face that, like, where I don't look as tired as I am.
No, that's a good answer.
And sometimes I don't like me more. I could definitely go overboard. It's like getting a bad haircut. Sometimes you're like, well, won't do that again. Or get it dissolved. You can always take it back. But I'm willing to make mistakes on my face. I think it's totally okay to be like, whoa. And I'll call it out. It'd be way worse if I fucked up my face and I'm an actress who has to act like, no, I just got stung by some bees. Or like it's an allergic reaction to mango. It's like, no.
You're not Mike Tyson.
I would just say, I got a little heavy-handed with the filler.
You didn't get like an insane tattoo. It's not like
no, that's even better because it's like you can say I got a tattoo. Women who fuck up their faces go, no, they don't talk about it, or they just go into hiding. Whereas I'd go, yeah, I got my lips done. It was a mistake. And I can say that on Conan. It also goes down. It also goes down, and so do I now.
That's why you get your lips done.
Oh, my God. Every time, if girls out there are ever, like, considering getting filler in the future, if you've done it before, you already know this. I swear to you, the day after, you will freak out, and you will call the place and be like, this isn't what I wanted. Wait, she even said to me, she was like, now 2 days. Do not wait 2 days before you start going like, I need it dissolved or anything. So you gotta get past this like uncomfortable period. I'm used to it now. It's so fun. I like it. It is the same to me as getting my hair dyed. Of like, what is this gonna, or like getting my hair cut. It's like, what is this gonna be? It's a little bit risky. It's not 1 in 4 dying risky. It's not K2 risky.
It's not K2.
But it's a fun little risk where it's like, this could make me look so much better. And I was looking back at old pictures of when I got stuff done to my face, and I go, I don't like that. At the time, I thought, it's too much. And I was going back to, I couldn't remember when I'd gotten stuff done. So I went back to my emails to see when I'd sent my insurance cards to these places or whatever it was. Insurance doesn't cover it, but I sent something, found in my emails, and I go, okay, October 2019. So I go back to that at part of my photo album, and I see the pictures that I used to go, oh my God, what the fuck did you do to your face? And now I'm like, that looks so fucking good. Because even over the past 3 years, faces have changed enough where a face with work done on it looks more normal now.
Yeah,
and it didn't as much back then.
I do remember when you got filler like in your cheeks.
Yes.
And I remember...
Yeah, I remember that too.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it being... Because I knew, I guess, your face before, it felt way more drastic than whatever you're doing now. Not saying that, like, because your face looks fake now it looks more fake.
No.
It's just like... One, I'm used to whatever your face
and I got
is.
a lot back then. One day I went buck wild.
Yeah, and you went
now
from
I
like
just
nothing.
do subtle. Yes.
Yeah, you
yes.
can't even. I think it looks better now than when it got changed then, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not judging it. I'm just saying. Like,
Yes, no, I get that, but
it's funny. I work out now, and like if I put on like it's so funny when you don't dress up. Like you put on a button down over, and Brenna's like, dressed up, huh? Like, what are you getting dressed up for? I'm like, first of all, I didn't even button this button down.
where were you going?
I think to do this podcast. He's like, oh, you having people see the video on YouTube? Yeah. You trying to look hotter? I'm like, yeah. I'm trying. I feel better about myself. Is that okay? Is it okay that I think I look hotter?
It's a good point because I go. Well,
she was busting my balls, but it was still funny.
but there is a part of you that goes, who are you doing this for?
Yes.
Like, why do you need to wear a button down? Why do you need to look nice if you already have a girlfriend and I love you? Like, what are you trying to get? And it's the bigger story is that, sorry, but looking fuckable helps.
Yes.
Even if I'm not going to fuck people.
Yes.
It is true.
It
And you
does.
can say, no, I do it for myself. No, you're doing it so people think you're attractive it's.
Oh, my whole thing
What about
is
when
that
you
I
look
want...
in the mirror
Yes.
and doing it for
sure.
yourself so that you have a positive response? A friend of mine told me about a TED Talk or something that he watched about how if you high five yourself in the mirror and just start every day with like a positive attitude looking at yourself, it like changes your overall mental well-being. So
I
what if
believe
it's
that.
something that helps with that?
Because mirrors are such an anomaly, and there's something like they're modern. I mean, we did not grow up like we're not, humans aren't meant to like see themselves, and so when you see yourself saying you look fucking great, high five, your subconscious kind of processes that as someone else telling it to you because there's no protocol for us talking to ourselves because it was never a thing, and so when you see that back at you, your brain kind of goes, someone else is giving you positive reinforcement because it doesn't make sense that you yourself are talking to yourself.
And for sure, like when I feel bad about myself, I'll shower with like, I'll make sure like the certain light is on, like less light. Like if I don't feel as good about myself or my body or whatever, like I'll shower in the darker, the better. Because when you get out, you don't have to see your own body.
Oh, I've never done that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, look at it, bitch. Own
Yeah.
it. Like, see it. Don't be in denial. This is the thing again about like,
Yeah.
you don't want to see the sharks if you're swimming, and I want the water to be clear. I want to know the truth.
Yeah.
I want harsh lighting to be like, this is the real thing. I don't want to filter on my Instagram. I don't want to be lied to.
Gotcha.
But I do understand, like, sometimes.
Meanwhile, you're injecting your face.
Yeah, but that's because I see the truth. And that's not lying. If my face gets injected and looks better, that's a true thing.
Okay, so you could handle the truth, but you still can change the truth. You could change things to make it seem
because
better.
if I see the truth, then I go, this is something I have to fix.
Ah.
If I'm seeing my body and it's like,
And
I'm
it's like
so
a
ashamed
perfect,
of it,
yeah.
that's just going to lead me to be in denial of it and keep doing things the way I'm doing. I make changes when I'm like forced with like, this is unmanageable.
Yeah. And
so
I
think
work
that-
out until I can turn the light on.
Yeah.
The light on.
And then you stop working out because you're like, I did it.
Yeah, now I can turn the light back on.
Yes. Well, we all have our things. I mean, when I am feeling like not comfortable in my own skin, I will, if I have like an itch on an area, I think I probably said this before, if I have an itch on like, this is where, like on my hips, like lower stomach is where fat starts to like accumulate. If I'm feeling like my pants are tight there and there's going to be like this bulge that I don't like, I will like scratch it with like this. So I don't have to like feel it. Because it's just like, I know, because I already know it's there. It's not like I'm like.
But you don't want to feel your own fat with your fingers?
Yeah, no, I don't need that. I won't scratch I'll use like a pencil or something because I just don't want to. I don't want to feel my. I know that's crazy.
No, I get what you're saying. That makes sense to me.
Because it's something about that just like when the waistband creates a divot or like and when I take off pants and all of a sudden I can see the imprint of the pant in my skin. It's just that's a rude awakening of like you need some new pants. But again, it's like
or underwear. Sometimes I'll take my underwear and I'll put it over that little flab.
My Lululemons
you know the flab right here.
Have been
like
a
I'll put it
struggle.
over that.
Right.
As opposed to having it hang a little bit, even though that's not where the underwear is.
Hang. I know you always got. That's why I like high waisted. It keeps the bulge. It tucks it. It goes over the bulge.
Yeah, over the bulge.
Yeah, battle of the bulge. I want it over it, and I want and like even Lululemon pants recently have been like a struggle to put on in terms like they feel like Spanx sometimes. Where I'm like, okay, things are different.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and it's so funny to go back and look at old pictures when I thought my body was it's just like. Even looking back at those old pictures of like, okay, I'm going to pull up. I was pulling up for the doctor to go, this is not what I want. And I pulled it up and I go, oh my God, will you just do this? I was trying to use it as an example, but I didn't want it. And I go, can you get me back to that? And I remember hating that photo. It's like, so now I really got to remember that right now, someday I'm going to look back at this video of me looking like a barfly in St. Louis with a Budweiser shirt and a baseball cap.
Marlboro Reds.
And a swollen face. And I'm going to go, look at your hair, how long it was. And like, look at your arm, how like, the other day I had a picture on my Instagram and my arm was kind of like, I was hugging someone, it was pressed down. You know when you sit and your thighs like spread out?
Yeah.
More than if you're standing. And my arm was just like pressed like this. And it was a picture that I was like, uncomfortable with because it's not what I thought my arm looked like. Still lovable, still like, and I'm just, and people get mad at me sometimes when I talk about feeling quote unquote fat because they're like, well, if you feel fat, then what does that make me? I'm just being honest. I cannot help it. When I feel fat, it's because I'm depressed. It's not because I'm actually fat. So when I'm saying I feel fat, that is not me telling you should feel bad about yourself. That is not me saying that if I saw you, I'd be like, whoa, what's wrong with her? It is a highly personal thing that I do not project. So I just want to make that clear because I have had people get upset with me and for good reason. And I like hearing it because it makes me remember if I'm kind of in my diseased brain. But I saw my arm and I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm a little bit heavier right now. I'm like owning it. Like, I'm not going to try to avoid this part of my life. Just put it out there. And then some girl wrote to me and was like, your arm is goals in this picture. And I was like, well, isn't that interesting? This picture that I thought was telling the world, like, I'm a new size, world. Like, here I am. And like, get used to it. Someone wrote goals. And like, my version of like, ugh, this is and it's because, and guess what? It is goals. I'm going to look back at the picture and go, I can't believe my arm was so cute. I can't believe that night I was like, why is my arm like, and this whole thing of like, I'm so old. Bitch, you're the youngest you're ever going to be right now.
Yes.
Just start embracing it. You're about to turn 48. You're about to turn 42. Do you feel like, does that mean something to you?
No.
42 is probably my favorite number.
Well, Jackie Robinson was 42.
7 times 6 is 42.
43.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
7 times 6 is 42.
43.
Come on. No, it's not. Noah.
Oh God.
I love how you have to go to a calculator. It is 42.
Yeah, it is because 7 times 7 is
42.
49.
Yeah, okay. So Jackie Robinson is 42.
Maybe I am at 48. Well, I was thinking about you being a barfly and like another woman sitting next to you at the bar.
Yeah.
Who has kind of the similar look you
Yeah.
got, and she's like, yeah. husband takes it out on you too, and you're like, no, this
No,
is
just have
Botox,
Botox.
and filler.
Like I'm all swollen and
yeah,
bruised.
yeah. You're just like,
No, this is
giving-
me beating myself up.
yeah. This is
And
me
I paid
showering
thousands to do
this
it.
is me showering with bad lighting.
All right, let's go to break and come back with more show. All right, we're back. Anything else we want to talk about before we get to Fanthrax?
42.
Oh, yeah,
just
42. Wasn't there a
I'm
movie?
telling you, when you're in your late 20s or even when you turn 30, you feel like it's time to be an adult. I'm so old. I'm an adult now. There is something to aging where, like, even if I say 42, I can't believe like it is weird for
I
me.
know. It's so
'Cause,
wild.
like, there's a lot of reasons why, but age starts not becoming like an adult thing because you've been an adult so long. It's just it's just like I don't. You know what? Does that make sense? Like when you transfer to something, then it feels like
When did you start feeling like an adult? Noah, when was the age where you were like, okay, this is an adult
No,
age?
it's when you think you have to be an adult.
Well, what age is that for you where you go, well, this is...
Fuck, it was like 25.
30.
I thought that 30.
It was 30.
I think 27 for me was like, okay, this is up there.
Yeah, I'm off my parents' insurance. It's time.
25 is actually kind of the last age where it's like the rental car thing. You can finally rent a car on your own. It's so weird that that's the last thing they hold out. And then the next one is Social Security at 60. No, the next one's president at 35. Then the next one's Social Security at 60. But 25 is this like age that you...
Where
That's just a
everyone
weird
can get it,
sanction.
yes.
You could do anything else except rent a car.
I know. It's fucking weird. So there's
know, you
nothing
can
to
rent a
really look
gun.
forward to, really, other than if then you start doing things like you get married, you have kids.
Yeah.
Those are
But
things.
38, I'm about to be 38, and I'm saying I'm 37 as much as I can because it's the last month I'm 37, and this age that in summertime I don't want to talk about my age because I just left the old one behind, and it's the beginning of that for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But towards the end of it, you go, no, I'm 37. I'm still 37
Yeah,
because
yeah.
even though I'm going to be 38 tomorrow, I'm 37 today. That to me, 38 to me is like. It's just, I've said this before, but when you remember your parents turning that age and you were old enough to like know that you're like, that's the wild thing is that
I remember my dad's
I cannot
40th.
believe I don't have kids. And my mom had
I remember my dad's 40th. Like I could remember vividly. Like it's the over the hill age. Like I remember
Yes,
him getting
the over
a
the
cake.
hill. That was such a
Over the
big
hill.
thing in the 90s.
And
was
you're
like,
getting
over the hill.
Yeah, over the hill was huge. And what was the other thing?
I feel like adults
when you
were more
buy
adult
something
when
to
we were
feel,
kids though.
What is it when you buy something when you get older?
Midlife crisis.
A midlife crisis. So he got a Porsche and he was like 40. So
I used
it
to
was
have
like,
a really dark joke about midlife crises.
really?
Like one of the worst jokes I've ever
What is
told.
it? Can you say it?
My
Is it about my
little
dad?
nephew has leukemia. This is not true. This is just a joke made up to like make the worst
he's
joke.
8 years old. And
He just got a like we got him a little toy Corvette for his 4th birthday. You know, but he has leukemia, so it's midlife crisis. It's pretty decent.
I like
but
it.
it's tragic as fuck, and it's made up. I mean, there's no. But midlife, I guess 40 is midlife, but not anymore. I mean, Whitney Cummings just gave me a book about extending your life by 12 years, like instantly, like without question.
What do you have to do?
You got to read this book. I haven't done that. I'm going to read a third of
I'd
it. So I'm going to at
rather
least
die.
leave 4 more years. Math. 7 times 7 minus 7, 43. So
way off.
but it's all about like taking peptides and shit like that. She's getting me on a regimen. She also gave me a complimentary family constellation session. We did her
What is
podcast.
that?
It's out today. She was talking on her podcast about how in her past, her she has a immense, like, she's obsessed with horses, and she can't even be in a part of New York City if there's going to be horse carriages. Like, if she sees a horse carriage, she goes into this, like, mom, like, lifting a car to get her children out mode. She just goes into another dimension where she can't do the Today Show. She can't do, like, Letterman. Like, when she went into Letterman, she had to go a different route because it's so
Triggering?
upsetting to her.
Okay.
It's the same as, like, if, like, 2-lane highways for me. I'll never drive to Vegas because of 2-lane. Like, it's just a phobia. She can't handle herself around horse carriages. And this woman went back and looked at her family history and like just read her energy. It's kind of like mediums, like Tyler Henry stuff. And was like, something went on with horses in your family. And she uncovered that her great grandfather had a hand in designing horse carriages so the wheels would not fall off. So he contributed to the horse carriage industry and probably did some heinous things to horses that she is now correcting as a descendant of people who maybe abused horses. And so like in it, I talked to this woman on the phone yesterday for a consultation, and Whitney's paying for my first session. She's like, this is what Whitney does. She's just like, suddenly you'll get a text with a random number attached to it. And she's like, Nikki, this is, Dr. Brown, and he's going to save your parents' lives. Okay, just have us consult with him. It's on me. The first one, like she just like, I have so many doctors on my phone from Whitney. So I had a call with this woman yesterday.
Oh.
And I did not understand. It was just a consult. I didn't understand like what it was. I was like, because I thought it was she looks up my like ancestry or something, like, and it's facts, but it's more like she's just an intuitive and she just reads energy and through the phone.
Is there hypnosis?
That's what I asked.
Involved?
I go, is there hypnosis? And she was like, no, it's just we come up with tools to heal the trauma, things that you're dealing with now. Like if you have certain weird fears now or like fears in your life, we unpack those to see what they could mean and where you got them. And then it's cool. Whitney said, if anything, it's just great material because it's just a weird thing to experience and to kind of dig up your past.
So did this woman
I'm meeting with her next week.
Did she feel that Whitney's
yes, she just feels it. So she yesterday on the phone call, she was
so the
kind
wheels
of starting.
thing could just be made up.
I think Whitney looked it up and it was true.
Oh. But
the woman yesterday was like, something at 4.5 happened to you where you felt like, she was just like, I don't know, I'm getting a sense at 4.5, you got told that you weren't good enough or that you needed to be punished until you got a reward. Something really big happened at 4.5. And I'm like, I don't fucking know what that could have been. But we were kind of unpacking why I can't ever be rewarded unless I suffer first. And then when the reward comes, I fight it because I just don't feel like I deserve it. Orgasms, gift giving, meals. I want to delay pleasure because I feel like I don't deserve it. And she's like, somewhere along, we got to figure out where that happened. We go back, we heal that. And then we,
it's always so annoying that everything in your past that you have to remember happened at a time that you can't remember. It's like just once I want to be like, dude, when you were 22, like I want one like reader to be like, yeah.
Oh God, it'd be nice.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Well, that happens.
But then you could question their bull. I'm not saying she's bullshit, but it's easier to question the bullshit if you could remember it yourself.
Yes.
If someone goes, when you were 5,
look at it like tarot. Like I don't really believe that these cards you're flipping over are like telling me things, but it's a way to like just look at the past and go, oh, actually, because there's without question something happened to me as a child where I got a message that you don't get to enjoy things unless you work for them first. Mm-hmm. And it's just not a good message, and it got cemented and implanted somewhere in my childhood. So it doesn't hurt to just say 4.5 and make me kind of come up with something. It actually, that's probably a healthy solution, even if it's made up.
I mean, who was a workaholic that was closest to you?
There's no workaholics in my household. Really, there's not. But my mom is very much someone who's
someone complain about money a lot.
You don't get
growing
to
up.
Don't ruin your dinner. You don't get to have something until after dinner. Those wait until later.
Yes.
You're not opening presents until this time. Now and my dad was always like, just let's have snacks now. Let's just open presents on Christmas Eve. And my mom's very much like, no, we wait until the table is set, until
Yes.
So it was a constant battle of those two things, I think. And then there's probably going to be something that's like major.
Was money talked about a lot in your childhood?
Oh, yes.
So that could be something too, I think, with reward and money. And then I also think that your dad was a guitarist and like he wanted to be a musician. He wanted to be a performer, but instead,
that never
came up.
I mean, I can see what you're saying. It never even registered that my
5
dad
and a half,
was like,
what I'm feeling though.
Yeah. What are you getting from me right now? What are you sensing?
I'm getting like a barfly.
Last night, we were actually on a text thread with my friend from high school, and she's probably listening to this because she was laughing so hard when she was telling me about she's the one in high school that wore a shirt that said whatever, and it was like so counterculture. Holla, holla. Noah. And I was talking to her on this text about she said that the other day she needed to share with me and my friend. She was like a thing came up where, because it was always the moniker for her was Hala don't cur. Like, Hala just doesn't care. Like, whatever. I'm just going to do whatever. Like, she was just like, like this free spirit. But sometimes it felt like you're trying to be a free spirit.
Yes.
Like, we would kind of go like, what's this whatever shirt? Why are you wearing a cat in the hat? Like, it would be like this. And then we were talking about it on this text chain. And she said that a neighbor of hers saw her in the rain, like walking in her car in torrential rain from her car to a building. And the woman was like, I'd never seen someone walk like there's not torrential rain, like without an umbrella and not even like try to run. You just like walked like it was like a normal sunshiny day. And she was like, you just didn't care. And she was like, it's so funny because that used to be, and I was like, and she goes, you should tell this woman it's not so much you're like a free spirit, but that your rebellion was that your mom was the opposite of that. So your way of her mom was like perfect.
Yes.
Ran marathons, looked stunning every morning, made us like pancakes and like croissants for the girls. Like she was just a super mom and so gorgeous and so perfect that Hala
did the opposite. Yes.
did the opposite.
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't care. And I relate to that too. Whenever someone's like really anxious about something, when you get anxious about a stand-up set, I want to do the opposite and go, I don't care about it at all.
Yeah, it's like
because you just want to fight the thing that you actually feel like maybe I should be doing this.
I did that for sure with my parents. My mom didn't do anything a lot of the times because, of the alcoholism. So I wanted to rebel. Part of me wanted to do the same thing and be lazy, which I've leaned into. I wouldn't say lazy is the wrong word to say when someone has a disease, but like depressed. And then my dad was a workaholic, so I wanted to be like the opposite of that because that had a negative.
Opposite, you're gonna go to the other.
Yeah,
one.
I'm gonna go to the other.
You're gonna be like your
one.
dad, or you're gonna be like your mom.
Yeah.
So you were constantly juggling these two of like, fuck you, mom, I'm gonna work really hard, and then you'd be like, oh fuck, I'm looking
Fuck
like
you,
my dad.
Dad,
Okay,
I'm
fuck
gonna-
yeah, I'm gonna look like mom.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's interesting, and that makes
know.
sense.
Both were extremes, but what were we just talking about right before that? Though?
Don't cur in the rain.
Oh, walking in
Whatever.
the rain. It was raining like 2 days ago, and I was just walking with Britton, and I was like, I don't really mind. Like, I don't know. I feel like in New York, I always felt like I had to get past the rain. I was walking in the rain today, and some reason, or the other day, and I was just like, it's okay. It's just rain. Like,
Yes.
it's just like, it's kind of nice.
Yeah, we do freak out about rain, but it's just
People
water.
freak the fuck out about.
Well, I have to say,
well, warm rain
hair-
and cold rain.
Women's hair comes into play
Yeah.
there. A lot.
Hair.
It's like, because when your hair gets wet, you got to start all over as a woman. Unless
Gotcha.
you're, that's the big thing that men have to take into consideration. All right, let's get to
I
the
also
news.
had a raincoat and an umbrella.
You heard it here first. Yeah, you heard it here first.
Oh, man, it's Thursday, folks. You know what that means? It is Thursday. Tonight, we will be in Austin at the Paramount Theater.
2 shows.
2 shows, 7
I'm
o'clock,
guessing tickets still
9:30.
available for both, but mostly probably the second show.
I mean, it's
Tons
still,
of comics in town too. I mean, it's going to be a big festival.
Are they all going to be in town tomorrow, you think?
No, I looked at the lineup. I think there's I almost said Nosha and Natasha.
Oh,
Moshe
yeah.
and Natasha are
Okay.
going to be performing the same time as us, which sucks because I want to go see them. But hopefully we'll run into them in the lobby of the hotel or something like that.
It is kind of nice when you live in St. Louis and you see
Dr. Drew
comics.
will be there.
I haven't seen some New York comics you were talking about the other day.
I mean, it's like
a couple of years.
It's insane.
It's
I miss comics so much, but there's also this fear of like, it's like the pandemic when you haven't socialized in a long time and you like miss it so much, but you're also like, well, now I kind of don't want to because I'm scared of it. Like there's a part of
Yes.
me that really recoils at the idea of a comedy festival because it's like comics might be at my show judging me. Comics, I'll have to like be more social and like I don't really want to hang out and I'll feel
Yeah.
bad about not hanging out. And the other night was the 50th anniversary at the Comedy Store, and I went to dinner with Spade and Adam Egget, and then afterwards Adam was going to the store, and I was like, I have to get up at 4 a.m. for a flight. I was like, I'm just not gonna go. And then I listened to Greg Fitzsimmons' podcast the other day, and he went and he said it was like the best night of his life, and it was like the coolest event. And I usually do have no FOMO, and I had major FOMO, and I wish I would have gone. But I do have anxiety about being around comedians because I think that sometimes I think I get like today I called this radio show in Austin actually. It was what was the name of the guys? They're so nice and they love you so much. Bob and Matt and Bob. They're
I
great.
remember meeting
Yeah,
them.
we went in with them.
They were really nice.
They said
Yeah.
hi, but I did a show with them, and they were like, pretty soon you're not even going to call us anymore. You're going to be so big, and I'm just like, I forget that people think that in some circles I'm a big deal, and I've like made it, and I'm famous now, And then because also I was running late this morning, so my assistant called my publicist to call them, and so they got a call from my publicist because I didn't even have their numbers. But then it looked like I was like big time.
Yes.
But I'm like, I'm eating oatmeal in St. Louis in my fucking kitchen. Someone tweeted the other day, like from a blog of like Nikki Glaser. We've lost Nikki Glaser to Hollywood. Sorry, guys. And I wrote back, I literally live in St. Louis. And he's like, well, if you want to talk about this on my podcast, I have a lot of evidence for why I think you've gone a little Hollywood. And I'm like, and then I looked at he had like 500 followers. I go, no, I'm not going to fucking defend myself. This is the dumbest. But so I go into these situations where I either think everyone thinks I'm a fraud. All the comedians are like, she doesn't deserve what she's gotten. Or they think that I'm like such a big deal that they can't act naturally around me because they're younger comics that are like, she's big, which isn't true either. Neither are true.
Yes.
It's again between mom and dad. I don't know which one I am.
I don't know either.
All right, news.
All right. So, well, since you're going to be in Texas, I have a Texas story for you.
Things are big.
A leg found by a motorist on I-10 in Cibola, which is a town in Texas, was related to a fatality accident 50 miles away.
How hard did she get hit?
Oh,
The accident happened when a 48-year-old man pulled over onto the right-hand shoulder of I-10 and got out of his truck, was hit by a passing motorist. Officials
Got
believe that
dragged,
the body
I bet.
part became lodged onto a passing truck and dislodged about 50 miles
Like
away
truck
before
nuts,
it was found.
but with a truck leg.
oh boy, that's funnier than I laughed. That was really funny. Okay, let me just say a couple things here. PSA, okay, public service announcement.
Oh,
The more you know, ding, ding, ding. Do not ever pull on the side of the highway if your car, unless your car is breaking down, you don't have a choice. If your tire blows out, if anything, drive to the nearest exit. It is more safe to drive on a rim and spend the money it's going to take to ruin your fucking rim or whatever it is you're driving on than to change. When people change tires on highway is the number one way that
To get
people
killed.
die
Yeah.
on highways. Please, you are not smarter than these people who get hit. These people get hit because they just don't know this rule.
Famous
My dad
football player just died on the highway.
really doing that.
He was trying to cross it.
Just you guys, please, I'm begging you, especially like if this happens to you, because listen, we've all like tires get blown out. You might run over a fucking leg or something. the
Wearing
tibia
heels.
might
Yeah.
you hit a stiletto. But here's the thing, please just drive to the nearest exit because you don't know what you're risking in trying to do something on the side of the highway. And never ever get out of your car on the side of the highway. People get hit all the time, and people don't see things happen too fast. So I just really want to, if I can save one life potentially, just fuck up your car. Even if your dad's like, "Why'd you drive on the rim? You should have pulled over. You ruined the car." Say, "Well, I could have almost died if I tried to change this on the highway." Don't even call AAA and have them do it because those guys die. It's so dangerous. I lost a friend to this. I'm very passionate about it. That being said, this story is insane, and if I ever get hit by a car, I hope that a part of me ends up in the front of something and ends up 50 miles. Like, I think that's so funny.
They're like, there's no way that was that same body.
Yeah.
And they have to like put it like Tetris,
I mean, it's wild.
Yeah.
It reminds me of it reminds me of a lot of things.
Well, it's
but what does it
interesting
make me
to come up to the accident and go, oh, this person they killed must have only had one leg. You know, because there's no other leg.
Or they just go, where the fuck? They're just searching for it and they have no idea. Like, who took this leg?
Yeah.
I mean, I would just assume it probably got stuck in the grill. What's the weirdest thing? What's the weirdest thing that little barfly laser? What is the weirdest thing you've ever found in your car? Have you ever hit anything weird? I once hit. I'll answer this while you talk. I once was driving to the Funny Bone when I had first started comedy at Westport on 270, and there was a flock of beautiful white geese that were flying across the highway too low, and I hit like 5 of them, and it was the most satisfying sound ever of just birds like Kirsten and I used to love to throw, like when we were feeding ducks. We used to love to throw the ducks against trees. No, we used to love to throw. See if you're listening. We used to love to throw pieces of bread. No, I was just the listener. I was love to throw pieces of bread. I've talked about this before onto the duck's back because it was just this thump that was like hitting like feathers, like a little thing. I have to say, I mean, it was the worst thing that's ever happened to me is like having all those.
Did they die?
You know, there were feathers in my grill. Oh yeah, for sure. I either injured them. I couldn't look back. It was too.
Did you
sad.
reverse too?
When I drive past roadkill, I'm not kidding you. I put up my hand like this, and I do a blind spot because I can't. It happened on yesterday. I was visiting my parents, and I saw a squirrel that was probably just killed within the past couple hours. And I put up my hand. I mean, it's my kind of Whitney thing of like horse care. Like I just can't deal with animals that have been hit.
Unless you hit them yourself.
Oh, it was the worst. Have you
Yeah.
ever hit a deer or anything like that? Dear old man. That was my joke from back in the day.
It's pretty funny. One time I hit my own car with my hand. I had a fly in my car, and I tried to hit the fly, and I hit my windshield.
You had a
broke my
collision
own
in your car inside the car.
came inside the car, and I'm driving in Texas.
Whoa.
I swear to God, I was with my stepbrother driving to California.
ready.
When I moved out to California to become, a producer, and
So you hit a fly in your own car, and then did it
I
cause a
broke
collision?
the windshield.
Oh my God!
I broke my
no
own
way.
windshield.
Your front windshield.
Yeah, and I missed the fly. I think he flew out probably the hole
Oh
in the
my God!
windshield.
Have you ever seen Obama kill that fly in an
No.
interview?
Shoe fly.
It's the sexiest thing that I mean. Obama's my number one. Let's take a quick break, and I'm going to tell you about this Obama thing. So, can I pull it up on my phone?
Yeah.
And have you watch it? So Obama.
Or I could.
Yeah,
what-
just pull it up. Just type Obama fly. It's gonna be like him in some like cool jeans with sunglasses on, looking fly as
with
fuck.
a barfly.
I mean, he's so hot. But he's in the middle of this interview, and he just he'll be like, we were dealing with a lot of troops in that situation, and then he gets it like in his periphery. It's so hot. There's something about a man that just. I mean, you know me. I don't like any kind of insect being killed. Did you see it?
Yeah, I mean it was very quick.
Isn't it cool? Have you ever seen of course you've seen it when George W. Bush almost gets hit by that shoe. That's another fucking hot thing. Like, I was attracted to him because he just was so cool about it.
Yeah.
The way he dodged it. And it was someone who was definitely an NBA natural born athlete.
Also, he's dodged a lot of things that have come at him,
Yeah.
like war crimes and
Blame for invading Iraq.
killing 2 million Middle Eastern people. He's
for
like,
no
but I
reason.
draw now for fun. That's him going.
Yeah.
He did dodge great. And who throws a shoe? Remember from Austin Powers?
Oh, who throws a shoe? That hurt.
That was before.
Yeah, that was so funny. That I referenced that scene of in
really
my act.
hurt.
I referenced that scene of because I talk about I don't do this joke anymore, but I used to do a thing about this weapon I had called the Tiger Lady, and you would squeeze it in your hand, and it had these claws that come out. And it was to defend myself. I would use it when I was running at like twilight, and I'd be like, if someone came across me, I would just fucking fuck them up. And then I kind of ran through a scenario in which I would do that, and I realized I don't like to like hurt people, and I don't know how to use it. So what I would do is just probably like scratch them, and they'd be like, "Ow!"
Yeah.
What? Fuck you! And then this seemingly like random act of violence would turn into a crime of passion because they'd be like, "You fucking scratched me, bitch!" So I could have just gotten mugged and raped. Normally, but
Or just mugged.
Now he's just fucking mad and
Yeah.
wants to like. So I say that the detective comes on the scene and is like, "Well, the seemingly random act of violence had turned into a crime of the Tiger Lady. This bitch scratched him for like it
Yeah.
just is like it's just getting you because I don't know how to. You would just hurt someone enough that they would just be so much more mad.
Yeah, and it'd be more personal. Like if I was trying to kill you and you scratch
That's why
me
mace
too.
is the thing to use.
Really?
Yeah, gel mace is the number one thing that women should use
Take
because
that,
it
take
shoots
that, take
really far
that.
away. What's that?
It's mace.
Take that. Atop that.
No,
Okay, let's get
it's-
to take that as Mace, the rapper. Okay, let's get to Fanthrax. Okay, Fanthrax. All right, let's hear it. Noah, what do the besties have to say this week? You said there's a lot of good stuff.
Okay, the first one is from Ellen.
Oh my God.
From who?
Ellen.
Ellen.
Hi, Nikki, Andrew, and Noah. This is Ellen from Kansas City. I love you guys in the podcast so much. Okay, so I'm calling in because I think this is a cuh, but I don't know how, like, it might be an offshoot of cuh. And my friends and I invented it in high school. It's called Cool Face. And it's like when you do something really cool in front of a group of people, but you don't want to acknowledge that it was cool, if that makes sense. So, like, an example is I played tennis in high school. And so, like, if I hit a really good shot, like an overhead or something that was, like kind of impressive when people were watching, you had to, like, make a cool face because you can't, like, get excited in front of people because it's, like, embarrassing
gloat.
because you don't want to acknowledge the fact that
Yeah, you don't want to be
you hit a really good shot. I don't know how
Yes.
it's like
It's the anti.
people are watching you and you just have to go cool face, and you
I
can't
wanna-
like smile or anything because you have to act like
I
it's
want
no
to
big
see
deal
what the
and
cool
like you
face
do it
looks
all
like.
the time.
though.
And
Wait.
then also
Okay.
so fast, Nikki, I literally freaked out a few episodes ago when you were talking about people from St. Louis wearing St. Louis stuff from the airport. I'm from Kansas City. My friends and I talk about this all the time. People from Kansas City wear Chiefs stuff and like KU stuff every single time they go to the airport. I don't know why. Like you always know if you're on a flight to Kansas City because the people are like scattered throughout the
Girl.
airport in like bright red Chiefs stuff.
Oh my God,
no
Ellen.
matter the time of year.
Ellen,
so yeah,
you're so right.
love
like
you guys
I was
so
just,
much.
I was just traveling this weekend. I swear to God, I was in Canada and saw Kansas City stuff. And let me just say, I am more prone to seeing Kansas City stuff because I have been there, lived there before,
Yes.
around there. And so it pops out to me more. So maybe I'm just seeing, maybe there's, Detroit stuff everywhere and I just don't care because,
You know
but
what
I
it
will
is?
say Kansas
I
City
think-
is, I saw it all over this weekend.
I think they relate the airport to their because it's the Kansas City airport.
No.
So-
I'm talking about traveling in any airport. You just see people traveling wearing Kansas City stuff.
Oh, I think she's talking about people wear it to the airport because
they
that's their
wear it-
city.
Well, they wear it. No, like when they're on the plane headed back to Kansas City, maybe.
No, but my point is that
Well, I guess
yes, they'd probably be wearing it anyways.
Yeah.
But the reason why they maybe in their brain they go, I gotta wear my Kansas City sweater because I'm
it's
going
like
to the Kansas
MCI.
City. I'm going to the
Yeah,
Kansas City airport.
That's the airport code. Okay, that makes sense.
See what I'm saying?
But I also want to say to the K face, what do you think the K face looks like? Like, or the cool face?
Cool face.
Like, so say you
is-
did something really cool.
cool
What's
face.
cool face
Cool
do?
face is this.
Just like playing it down.
Playing so down.
Okay, let me think of something cool. If I made a really good punchline or something, I'm trying to think of my version of something cool that I would do.
Yeah.
Like where I had the best comeback. Okay, so I say, well, maybe it's because your mom thought that. Just kind of a little like chuckle to myself.
No, I know.
Like,
I was looking to see the.
but honestly,
I don't even know if you'd have
I
the
don't do
chuckle.
cool face because I would just go, that was pretty fucking good, right? Like I want.
Yes.
I feel like in order to not be I'm always trying to like not. I think it's cool face is because you're actively trying to not be authentic. What you really want to do is go like, fuck yeah,
Yes.
suck it.
Yes, I love emotion in sports.
Yes.
People like, oh man,
Did you see that guy
He seems
against
so
Ben
calm
Stiller?
under pressure. What's that?
Tennis guy.
No, what do you do?
Oh my god. Let me just play this really quick. Sorry, no. Let's cue up the next Fanthrax.
Also, it just goes back to like when someone goes, "Oh, he's so calm under pressure." That's his. That's the same thing as someone getting very excited. It's
Yes.
it's like when I met with the therapist and I was like, "I'm lazy." She's like, "That's a choice. That's a choice just as much as doing something is." So if someone's real cool under pressure, that's their choice, just like the person that's very excited. If that makes sense.
That does make sense.
Yeah.
Okay, Noah, next one.
All right, next voicemail comes from Anna.
I took a photo in my mirror in my underwear to send to my boyfriend, and it's a live photo, and all you hear in the background if you click on the live photo is Nikki saying, and he's teeing up. So my boyfriend listened to it and responded with, are you listening to golf? So good job, Nikki.
My God. Oh, yeah, when I was doing the golf impression. Yeah. And he's teeing up. It's a beautiful day here in Augusta. The wind is coming in at 9 miles per hour off the eastern seaboard. We are going to land at... Oh, no, I'm just doing
Yeah, you're doing a pilot.
Okay, so...
You're doing a pilot flying
that
over
makes me
Augusta.
feel so fucking good. Like, that really... Thank you for that.
No, live photos can get you everybody. If you send a nude or you're sending something, make
Watch
sure
out, y'all.
a live photo, if they hold down the button, they could see things before it. Just I did that. I blocked out my penis when I sent it to my brother, and you click on the live photo.
Oh, my God.
And the box disappeared, and his wife saw my dick, and I didn't.
But you didn't mean to send your penis, though, right?
I meant to send my body with my penis
okay,
covered.
you said I sent my penis to my brother, and he saw my penis. It's like, okay, well.
I sent a body pic.
Yes. And the live photo revealed more.
Yeah, revealed my.
Okay, so this is a
pathetic
tennis
cock
player.
at the time. Yeah,
I don't know. I sent it to Chris, and he said that guy's kind of a dick.
yes, he is.
Okay, so this is
I already
Ben
could
Stiller
tell.
said something in the stands. I don't know what it was. He was probably just like being supportive, and then he probably was like, "Oh, Ben Stiller thinks he's cool," and this is what he said. Are you good at tennis?
Why are you speaking?
Exactly. So why are you speaking?
Why tell him how to act? No.
Do I tell him how to act? No. And then it cuts to Ben Stiller looking so awkward. I doubt Ben Stiller said anything shitty.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if Ben Stiller
Are you good at tennis? Yeah, that's what I thought. Kuh.
He picked Ben Stiller. He knew that's the one guy that makes more money than him. Let's go after
That guy
him.
you can tell he's got a chip on his shoulder.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Guaranteed he was not winning that match at that moment.
That's the guy that pulls Cool Face, too, by the way.
Okay, next
Fucking
Fanthrax.
bitch.
Okay,
Not
this
you,
will have to
though.
be the last one because of time.
Yes.
All right. This one, I don't know if we should say her name. Maybe yes, maybe no.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Nikki, Andrew, and Noah. I am a police officer, and I just had an incident that made me laugh out loud and think of you guys.
Oh.
So I just arrested somebody for a driving offense, and as I'm doing my notes here, I was just noting that the vehicle had several occupants in it, and I was just laughing because of the several discussion
Oh, clown
and how
car?
different we see the word several compared to Andrew. And I say we as in the entire world versus Andrew's version of several.
I love you.
Sorry if I'm rambling. It's like 3:40 in the morning, and I'm very tired. But I just wanted to let you guys know
We have a cop who listens
that
to
every time I
us.
hear the word several, I laugh out loud. Don't be cuh and jackrabbit.
Ooh, Jackrabbit. Wait a second. Is it weird that I feel so cool that we have a female cop who listens to our show? Like
Female
cooler
cops.
than if any. Like
At
I'm sorry to
3:40?
I'm sorry to Ellen. I'm sorry to who was the other person? Anna. But I don't know what you guys do for a living, but a cop on the night beat listening to our show and having a little giggle. I'm so intimidated by female cops.
Yeah, there's something
I need to
really
interview this
funny
woman.
about a cop listening to us like complain about like these like little things. Meanwhile, she has to go like tackle a murderer.
Okay, I honestly,
It's funny to go from that.
I
to,
know cops are like normal people
Yeah.
and like have normal lives, but to me that is like so. I'm so tickled. I put them on a pedestal.
Can
I
you
really
be a
do.
little bit cooler of a face because it's kind of
I mean, it's not a big deal that a cop's listening
Yeah,
to
it's
our show.
whatever,
It's like
dude.
I mean, I get I think that a lot of people that do things that I could never do. People climbing 14ers are listening to the show all the time and we're sitting
Yeah,
there
man.
like, whatever.
No,
okay,
it is
I
cool.
really want to institute a segment on the show. I'm gonna put it out there so that it has to happen. Where we interview someone who has a job that we like all know people have these jobs. I want to do this was originally a part of the pitch of the show that I wanted to do, where it's I want to interview that cop and ask her about what it's like to be a cop. She
Yes.
sounds like just like us.
reach out to her.
Yeah, let's reach out to her. I want it. Let's talk about maybe some other jobs that if you have these jobs or you have an
we
interesting
still got
job.
to talk to a Starbucks person.
Starbucks is. I'm dying for someone who's
few
worked at a
people wrote.
Starbucks for
Yeah.
more than a year.
Yeah.
You know, I want someone who's like who's been in it, who's been a partner. I would like to talk to. God, maybe someone who worked at like a Geek Squad, someone who like goes in someone's computers, the weirdest stuff you found.
I want to talk to a
Maybe
detective.
someone who works at an Amazon fulfillment center. Like, there's thousands of people who work on those, and I have never talked to one. I've never met one.
detective, a molestation detective.
Someone who, someone who's been molested that wants to talk about it. Honestly,
Or that
like,
too.
if you are open to talk about that and things that maybe you could have. Not you could have done differently, but things that your parents maybe could have seen, things that like, or maybe you don't, maybe you heard the last episode where I was talking about like kids know right away and you didn't know right away and you want to set that straight. Like, I'm open to anything.
I love that.
I love it's like I want to talk to cops, Starbucks employees, and if you've been molested.
I know.
I mean, I can't deny that these are my interests.
Well,
and let
what
me
if
be
you
honest,
happen to work at Starbucks and been molested?
Well,
How about that?
then two birds. One fucking uncle.
Why
Here's
is it
the
always
thing.
the uncle? Couldn't it be the aunt?
No, it can't actually. It can be an aunt, but
Can aunt?
It really. I said this to Chris too because this is from the last podcast we did. But we were both saying, "What can we do? To what can we do?" And I said, "It's about messaging. It's about education." And another thing is, sorry, don't let your kids around men alone. I'm sorry to men listening that are like, "I love kids." Then fucking write TV shows for kids or make content for kids. do not trust your kids to be alone with men.
So I can't hang with my nephews without my brother?
Yes, you can, because your brother knows you. And
But you said that as strangers, sometimes people in your inner circle you don't know as well.
It is true, but I would guess that your brother knows you. Your brother, I know, knows you well enough, and I know you well enough that I know that you're not harboring that secret. I would know that about you at this point.
I don't
what
know.
I'm
The
saying
middle
is,
brother's really cute.
and I know you're like, Nikki, this guy is trusted. I'm sure he is. I'm just saying, listen, if 1 in 4 guys who, or like, let's say 1 in 80 guys that work in childcare is a child predator, are you going to take that chance? Or are you going to maybe take the chance of 1 in thousands of women? Women just aren't the one. And usually a lot of times women who are doing abuse to children, sexual abuse, are doing it for a man in their life and are a part of like a...
I think you have an interview now.
I've heard a lot of babysitters.
I do have an interview with Conan people. I'm going to be on Inside Conan. And listen, if I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, set me straight. And also send me more. The other night when I asked for...
If you're a cop, a plumber...
Or you have a recommendation of a pedophile documentary. But the other night, I just want to say, I asked on my Instagram for sex crime documentaries. I'm like, please send them my way. Every single one that got sent to me, I've seen. I've seen them all. If you can dig one up I haven't
Deep
seen,
cuts.
I want to hear from you. Thank you so much for this week of shows. Sorry I talked so much about molestation. I don't know what's wrong with me. I probably was molested at an age that I don't remember. Who knows? We'll dig it up in my family constellation. Also, don't be cut out there. Don't make a cool face. And Jack be nimble, Jack be quick.